Oh, hey, Matt Christmas, Paul Giamatti. Listen, I just wanted to thank you for your kind words and saying I'm the total package. I really appreciate it. You're the total package, too. You're something special.
Hey, did you finish all the coffee?
No, there's...
There was a little bit left. I was saving that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You took that?
No, I just...
You know what? You think you're the fucking package? You're not the fucking package. Save the coffee for other people.
Matt Christmas thinks I'm the package.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You cannot use multiple slurp juices on a single ape.
So wait.
He's doing misinformation.
So that's how like crypto Black Friday happened.
Everyone was
Black
trying
Monday,
multiple slurp juices.
So wait, if you try to slurp an ape multiple times, it'll just like open some phishing program.
Yes,
steal
it'll
your
like
entire
brick
wallet.
your entire account and take the apes from you because you're not supposed to do that.
Oh man, that's awesome. I was getting sick of that, like that whole like meme, but
yeah,
the idea that someone killed themselves because they like slurped multiple apes is like, I mean, it's not good, but you if it didn't happen to someone you know, you'd be like, that's pretty funny. And even
Absolutely.
if it did in 5 years, you'd be like, okay, that was like a hilarious way for my.
I mean,
dad to
honestly,
die.
you might end up having a few laughs at the funeral with other friends of theirs. Like,
Legit.
you
I
believe what a fucking moron this guy was.
I have had people I love die in ways that are like not as ridiculous, and laughed at it years later. Just good because you have to accept that in life. And if someone, imagine if your dad was like a normal like office worker, and he just jumped out of his window like a stockbroker during the Great Depression, before the Great Depression, because of the slurp juices. Like they just fished your family's entire savings. Your dad's like, ooh, I can turn my my monkey who's wearing a propeller cap into a fucking monkey astronaut. And then he's just dead. He's just a gore photo now.
No, now he's literally
God.
slurped. He's literally slurp juice on the fucking asphalt. This is suffice to say, the Ben McKenzie interview, extremely timely because what is it? Like some of the stable coins are now like worth less than a penny or something like that.
Yeah, that's not what you want out of something called a stable coin. I don't know much. Seems like that's the opposite of what you're looking for.
But good news though. Good news though. Our boy, probably the most visionary world leader of our times right now, Bukele in El Salvador. Yeah, they're buying the dip.
Oh
they're buying the dip.
Let's go, dude. Let's fucking go. That we were saying before the episode, this is the first time we've ever done like an interview or like a singular topic episode where we did the episode and 40 minutes later like everything about it is invalidated. Like usually what happens is like, we'll talk to Derek about Ukraine and it'll be like, oh yeah, well we don't like think Russia is gonna like push towards Kiev, and then they do. Like literally like Russia sees us upload the episode and they're like, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck this episode, fuck the Google Doc you guys made. But no, we did a topical episode and it like everything we talked about, well really that like Ben talked about happened.
Yeah, and as he was saying it was being brought into life.
Yeah, okay.
Like he's the kid for the Twilight Zone episode.
All the apes are getting sent to the cornfield right now. All the apes and ape holders.
All my life's gone.
Unlike the Derek Davison episode, where like, okay, we publish it, and then I'm in my hotel room, and I'm like, damn, hotel room Shark Tank be hitting different. And then I get like a billion replies of like, Kiev has fallen. Russian tanks have crossed the border. Why are you tweeting about this?
That was, man, like when they write the book for like fathers about the war, like a Bill O'Reilly style book.
Yeah.
It's like the Red Tsar's gambit, the Stalinist gambit. It'll be about how like I had just set up my PS5 in my hotel room. and then
Um,
everyone's like, "Fuck you," and
you
I'm
know,
like, "What?"
And I feel like every time we do an episode about crypto, like there's always a few people who are really mad at us that we just still don't get it, and that like everything we're saying is wrong. We haven't done the research, and I want to be clear here. We did not mention it on the Ben McKenzie episode, but I want to be clear here. I do understand and support the legitimate use of crypto to buy drugs through the mail.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
What they always should have been. And honestly, will always be. Like, that's value for crypto. Its utility, that's a real thing. What happened, though, is it's something that started as utility. A lot of people looked at, realized, oh, this can also be a financial scam. This can also be another zone of speculative investment that I can get on the ground floor of. And it could also, and as soon as that happened, it creates this like parallel reality and a whole new set of actors who are totally fixated on this thing along the axis of how can I scam people into thinking that this shit has value. And meanwhile, people are doing the thing you're supposed to be doing with it in the background the whole time. Getting their drugs from the internet, all that kind of stuff. And now it'll go back to that, hopefully. But we'll see. Because, once again, even if crypto crashes and all that value is destroyed and the slurp juice tanks are empty, there's still nowhere for this fucking money to go. There's nowhere to profitably invest it in the real economy. So the need to find some fully intangible speculative horizon still exists.
So I do understand the utility for crypto for what its legitimate intended purpose, which is buying drugs through the mail. I don't know, maybe I need to do more research, but I don't think there's much utility in it being a competitor for the dollar, for the global reserve currency.
No,
or
that's
that
always
the
a fantasy.
or that like the U.S. Treasury should be turned over to apes.
You know what?
Yeah,
actually,
not yet.
what's interesting though? Because I remember when fucking crypto hit, I remember like looking at it. I remember making fun of it at the time. Of course, if I'd had some and I'd held onto it for a while, oh my God, like anyone, I think that's what got a lot of people. It was when it hit 60,000 was that moment of reckoning when people realized how much money was on the table there for a while. And of course, now, like for so many people who got into it after that point and have only lost money because it's only gone down since then. But when crypto came up, it was, yes, this thing that people were using to do illicit transactions, and people were pitching this as liberatory. And hey, it is. The government says you can't buy this. This is letting you buy it. It's enlarging freedom. But before anybody was talking about it as an investment, they were talking about it as, yes, an alternative to fiat. And eventually, the idea that it could challenge dollar hegemony really went away and was replaced by the idea that you can use this to make money. And you can see there, like, the death of the utopian, the death of the political, right? Which starts when, because Bitcoin started off as like this libertarian political project. And there was a dream that, hey, we're going to challenge capitalism from outside of itself, and do it better and undermine all of its foundations of exploitation and inequity that are built into it. But it got swallowed by investors, and as soon as it became tied completely to the U.S. dollar, to the point where people said it was a hedge against inflation or whatever, it just goes up and down with the stock market in total
synchronicity.
Yeah, in total synchronicity. That fantasy went away because people realized, oh, we can't beat them, we can't fight them. Well, then our only political act we're left with is try to get rich, try to avoid being the subject of this system that is just not stopping in its total exploitation and immiseration of the population. Get out of the way, get out of the path of like the coming bulldozer by getting money for yourself. And that is now the only political project that anybody could really believe in.
Yeah, I've been really I mean, it's a very obvious conclusion. I think anyone could have seen this coming, right? Where regardless of how much you talk about decentralization, or it's somehow both a new type of money, the world's greatest speculative vehicle, and the millennial and even Gen Z answer to the boomers' real estate and post-industrialization financial portfolio wealth. It could have never been all of those things. I don't know if it could have even been one, but the second that it became more real, where there were actually like well-capitalized firms and hedge funds and entire companies built around this concept, basically built around like Bitcoin speculation, it became very obvious that people were going to be able to do things like, what George Soros did to Asian tiger economies in the late 90s, or to use him again as an example, someone compared what happened to Tether. No, it was the other stablecoin that was linked to the dollar.
Luna?
I think Luna. It was the version of Tether done by the Luna guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But anyway, like I saw a thread actually like comparing what eventually happened to that coin to what Soros did to the Bank of England, and who knows who did it at this point? But it's like it could be like BlackRock. It could be fucking like Blackstone. It could be any one of these companies.
I think I saw I saw some indication that it might have been BlackRock.
Yeah, but it could be any single company that has access to like $100 billion and then 10 times that in leverage, that can easily just completely break the back of a currency with like $1 billion in market cap, or 10 billion or 100 billion theoretically, and no one was prepared for this. And if they knew it could happen, they did the usual like crypto bluster. Like they did the thing where they consciously are emulating Leonardo DiCaprio from Wolf of Wall Street, the real guy, based on the real guy who was banned for just lying about securities, and all the people that put their entire life savings into it were like, yes, we're all him. And it's like, no, you're the people that Jordan Belfort scammed. Or it was, they if they weren't replying with gifts, the argument was, no, you don't get it.